What?
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Not you. You can choke.
Back to the computer. Oh my gosh, I'm such a nerd. Let's see if I got any new comments. Aw, man.
Okay, so I know it's been a while since I did a video. I think it's been around a month or two. I'm still working on that Disney video. I just have had no motivation. Yeah, I've had no motivation to do it. But don't worry, it's gonna get done. It is a passion project of mine. Plus, you know, we had that hurricane. I've been helping clean up my house, and it's just, you know, I've been trying to get stuff done. School started. I'm technically supposed to be in school right now, but it's my virtual class, so I don't have to FaceTime, so I'm doing this instead for you guys. Anyway, so I made a Instagram post about like what this video is gonna be on, and I'm basically, from, you know, if you read the title of the video, I'm talking about the Netflix new releases. Because I wanted to do a video on one of them, and I'll get to that one when we get to it. I wanted to do a video on one of them separately, but I feel like what needed to be said has already been said by other people, so I'm just kind of going to restate that and give my opinions on it. I am a man, though, so I'm not trying to, like, we're going to talk about cuties. We'll get there. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about cuties. Okay, this shirt keeps, like, showing my girls, you know what I mean? We're going to talk about cuties. We're going to talk about The Devil All the Time, Ratchet, The Boys in the Band, and Julie and the Phantoms, because I watched all of those. I thought they were all movies, too. I didn't well, I knew Ratchet was a series, but I didn't realize Julie and the Phantoms was a series. I thought it was a movie. We're gonna get to all of them individually. But I really like all of there are a good thing, and there's something good in all of them, but is covered up by so much mess that it's hard to find the good, and we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna save cuties for last because it gave me an ulcer. I had an aneurysm while watching that. Let's get into it. So let's start off with one that I just watched, The Boys in the Band. Hey, stop. My dogs are in here. They're gonna cause noise probably. So we're gonna start with The Boys in the Band. I just watched it. Like, I just got done watching it. I love that movie. It is definitely one of my top favorites. First of all, that movie is a movie about gay love and coming to terms with being gay and loving who you are. And, you know, it has gay men being feminine, being masculine, being themselves, being sexual, being not sexual, being hot, being ugly, you know, this, that, the other. It was really good. I really liked it. There were some things like, I just felt like there were so many characters that it was hard to have all of them doing a lot. We got a lot of Emery. We got a lot of Jim Parsons' character, I forgot his name, and that's pretty much it. Everyone else, oh, no. We got a lot of Andrew Rannell's character. I don't remember his name either. I just remember Donald. That's all I remember. And Cowboy. I think his name was Cowboy. I don't know. He was supposed to be like a midnight cowboy. Charlie Carver. My love. I love him. I would die for Charlie Carver. I would. He's cute. He's not hot to me, but he is adorable. And we're going to talk about him in Ratchet too, because he was in Ratchet and Boys in the Band. So Boys in the Band was made by Ryan Murphy. I love Ryan Murphy, y'all know that. I'm a big American Horror Story, American Crime Story, Glee, Pose, and Ratchet, and Hollywood, and Nip Tuck, and what else did he do? Politician fan. I love all of those. Those are the ones I've seen at least. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, Scream Queens. I love Scream Queens. But yeah, The Boys in the Band was so good. It had... I feel like Zachary Quinto was supposed to be one of the main characters in it. But I feel like he doesn't do much. Like, he doesn't call anyone. So, like, the big part of the plot was that it was Zachary Quinto's birthday. Not Zachary Quinto, but the character's birthday. And so a bunch of gay people come over. And then Jim Parsons' friend, Andy, also comes over, and he's straight. He's not. I know they don't really say whether he's gay or straight or not, but it was... Well, they never really confirm if he was gay or straight. But I think it's pretty obvious what he is. If you watch it, you'll see. But the main premise of the movie was that it was Zachary Quinto's birthday. A bunch of gay people come over, and they end up playing a game because it rains, so they can't be outside. So they end up playing a game, and the game is you have to call the one person you considered who you love. And so... Michael Washington's character, I forgot his name in the movie, calls a boy that he worked with that he did love, but he's too scared to say I love you. Emery calls this doctor guy, and he can't say I love you because he hangs up on him. And then the Andrew Rannell's character and Touch Watkins' character, who are, I think, married in real life and actually have kids together, which is so cute, are actually together, they're together in the movie and in real life, which was like crazy for me. I don't know, it wasn't crazy, but I was like, that's cute. I like that Ryan Murphy did that. You know, fun fact, Ryan Murphy was gonna have Neil Patrick Harrison and his husband be together in American Horror Story Murder House, but they didn't want to play another couple that was always fighting, so they weren't in that, but they ended up being in Freak Show. That was a side thing, but I just want to point that out because Ryan Murphy likes to do that. So anyways, so they're a couple in real life and they're a couple in the movie, and they have a rocky relationship, but they ended up loving each other at the end. It was really cute, and they call each other even though they're at the party. Watch it. Oh, I gotta mention that there's gonna be spoilers in this. There's gonna be spoilers for Cuties, Boys in the Band, which I already gave them away, I guess. I mean, there's not many spoilers. Boys in the Band has already been a thing if you saw the play. I haven't. I'm gonna try and find it. There's gonna be Cutie spoilers. Honestly, I'd rather you watch this video than watch the movie. Don't give that press. I watched it to make this video and to see if it's that bad because I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. There's gonna be spoilers for The Devil All the Time, and there's gonna be spoilers for Julie and the Phantoms. So, Boys in the Band. I really love it. Charlie Carver is so cute in this. He plays like a really dumb boy who, like, his whole thing was he's kind of like a prostitute. He was like bought as a birthday present for Zachary Quinto to like come and say happy birthday and kiss him, and he's very dumb. I was watching it and it was so funny because he was like dumb, but it's cute. He's cute. I need to see him on Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf? Why are there planes? Teen Wolf is on my list to watch. I started it, but I haven't finished it yet. I'm gonna finish Nip Tuck and then I'm gonna watch Teen Wolf. Or no, I think it's gonna be Nip Tuck, The River, and then Teen Wolf. And if I feel like making a video on any of those, I will. I probably will do one on Nip Tuck because I have things to say about Nip Tuck. But this video ain't about Nip Tuck, so we're gonna move on. So yeah, Charlie Carver was in that, and he was so cute, and he plays this really, like, this prostitute character is so cute. He's like dumb. He's really dumb. That's pretty much all he does. But I think this movie was a very character-driven movie. There's like 9 main characters, and actually that's pretty much all the characters. No one else really... There's no characters other than them that really play a significant role in this movie. Like, there's no like supporting roles. It's like those 9 and that's it. And stop. She's just walking the dog. I'm gonna be right back, y'all. Okay, I got them under control. So, let's continue. There's not... Oh, the mailman just showed up. She's gonna start barking again. Molly, no. Molly. Come here, Molly. I'll let you sit on the couch. Just don't tell Mom. Come on. Come on, Molly. You can sit on the couch if you act right. Come on. You can sit on the couch. Okay. So, there's... I mean, the main premise of the movie is that it's gay people living gay in the, like, I think this is the 90s or the 80s. I don't exactly remember. I don't know. But it's a very character-driven movie, and... Okay, I keep getting emails, and I thought it was an email I was waiting for. Anyways, so it was good. I do recommend it. Ryan Murphy, he is gay, so he's good with writing gay characters. He's a gay character, or like an LGBT character and everything. Literally everything. Scream Queens is the only one that is like, you know? Well, actually no, because there is, I think she's like pansexual. I don't know. But Ryan Murphy is good with gay characters. So yeah, I would watch this. If you are gay, or if you're straight, I guess, you can watch it too. But if you're gay, I do recommend watching it. It's funny. It's heartwarming. It's cute. It's Matt Boomer. Okay, gay guys out here. Matt Boomer's in it. Matt Boomer, full penis out. It's hanging there. You see it in the first like 20 minutes, I think. That's how I knew this movie was gonna be good. That's how I knew it was gonna be good. Anyways, so I didn't know all the actors before this, but I was looking forward to seeing Jim Parsons because it's weird. I can't shake that he was Sheldon, even though he's been more things than Sheldon. It's that Sheldon role, and it always kind of makes me like, it takes me out of the movie, but not this time for some reason. For this reason, I was like, oh, that's Jim Parsons, not Sheldon. So yeah, and he was in other Ryan Murphy things too. He was in Hollywood, and that's the only other Ryan Murphy thing, but he was also in Hidden Figures, and he was good in that. And I think Jim Parsons is such a good actor, and I hate that I can't shake the fact that he was Sheldon, and that's all I can think of when I think Jim Parsons. Anyways, he killed it in this movie. I really liked him. He was, wow. I'm surprised no one called him out. Look, okay, in the part whenever he's like forcing everyone to call who they love, I'm surprised no one was like, you need to call who you love. Because he's like, he's not the only character that didn't do it, but he was like so adamant on getting everyone else to do it, and I was like, why didn't you? Anyway, so most of them ended up calling a straight person and being like, I love you. They didn't get to say I love you, but most of them, that's who they call like a straight boy that like never came out. Or in one instance, the guy called his wife, but I'm not gonna say what happens there. So yeah, Jim Parsons. I was looking forward to seeing Jim Parsons, Matt Boomer, and Zachary Quinto, because I seen them in other things, and I was like, I love them. They're great actors. And then I watched Ratchet, and then I saw Charlie Carver was in Ratchet, and I loved him in Ratchet, and so I was like really excited to see him in this, and he was my most looking forward to actor seeing. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I would rate Miss Boys in the Band 9.8 out of 10. It was really good. I think the only criticism I have is that some of the characters don't get enough screen time or moments whenever all the group is together. Like, outside of the group, Matt Boomer gets a lot of time, but then when all the group is here, he doesn't do much. And that's what some of the other characters too, that was just an example. So yeah, there's just so many characters that it's hard to really shine a light on all of them at one point. So yeah, that was my Boys in the Band. Next we're going to do Julie and the Phantoms. I watched that in like less than 24 hours. I started it one night and then I finished it like the next day. Around like 12, I think I finished it. It's like 9 episodes. Each episode's like 30 minutes long. It's easy to get through. I have no life either, so yeah. So Julie and the Phantoms is important to me because there is a gay character. And I know you guys are, oh, just because there's a gay character doesn't make it blah, blah, blah. But Julie and the Phantoms is a kid's show. Akin to Disney. It wasn't made by Disney, but it kind of reminded me of a Disney Channel show, and I'll get into why. But it had a gay character in with an open crush towards another character who we don't know if he's gay or bi, but they make it seem like they're gonna get together in the future next season. So other than that, it was a kid's show. It was like watching Hannah Montana because, you know, the music. So it's nothing special. It's a cute kid's show. And it's definitely a kid's show. There's no cussing. There's no nudity. Well, I'll get into one scene in particular. But there's no heavy topics, kind of. They deal with death, but not really. That's confusing. So the premise of the show is that these 4 boys were in a band. 3 of them died from eating a taco that was prepared in a car, in like what's that front of the car called? I'm looking at it right now to like get in the engine. I'm sorry, I'm gay, I don't know cars. So they eat tacos out of an engine, and then they're like, does this hot dog taste bad? And they're like, nah, and then it cuts to an ambulance coming to their house. So it's kind of, it has funny moments, but I think for the most part, it felt like a Disney Channel show with a little extra. Netflix's whole persona is selling sex. You can't deny this. Netflix's whole thing is selling sex. And I'm going to talk about this in a future video, but you need to remember that, because, and I know it's true, even for kids shows. This happened in Cuties, it's going to happen in the new Avatar, and it's going to happen in this. It happened in Julie's and the Phantom. Happened in a bunch of Netflix shows. But we'll talk about Netflix selling sex in a future video. So, anyways, basically what I mean by that is there are 2 scenes, maybe more, but I remember 2 in particular, where the main boys get shirtless. And then there's another scene where the 2 straight boys in the group kiss. And then there's another scene where... Stop that. It's just a truck. There's another scene where they moon a guy in a helicopter. And as ghosts, they can't be seen by anyone except Julie and other ghosts. So the point of them... Oh, and they can be seen whenever they're performing with Julie. So the point of them mooning him was like, why? You don't get to see their like butts or anything, but it's the act of doing it, and it's shown, and you get to see like the ass crack. You need to watch it. Or maybe you don't. But like, I'm like, Netflix, this is a kid's show. Why are you having shirtless teenage boys kissing? Well, okay. Listen, I don't have a problem with kissing by gay or straights being happening in kids shows, but it seemed odd, because that seems like a Netflix thing to do, because Disney Channel, that's a lie. Disney Channel does do straight couple kisses. Anyways, I just think Netflix is trying to sell the sex, especially the mooning part. They literally said, why are we mooning him? He's not going to see us. Oh, it's for me. For who? For who? Not for you to sell. Come on. I'm not dumb. Netflix, your whole thing is selling sex, and we're going to talk about that. But anyways, other than that, it was pretty good. I think the ending was very cheesy. The ending was very, very cheesy. It was very Disney. I can only describe this show as Disney. This is something Disney would do. And that's not a bad thing. It's not... Okay, the heavy topics are death. So basically, the main girl's mother is dead. Again, just like Disney to kill the mother, you know, that's what they do. So anyways, the mother's dead. She had some sort of connection to the boys. I think we see the mother in the beginning, but I don't remember if that was her or not. Could have been some random girl. I don't think it was. Shows don't do that. Some shows. But she went to go see the boys in concert. And or she didn't see the boys. She was working at the concert venue that the boys were at before they died. And so when the boys died, they died at the house of, well, the future house of Julie's family. So she like accidentally summons them, I don't remember how, and then they can only be seen by her unless they play, and they have this whole gimmick where they're holograms and they're called Julie and the Phantoms. And the best friend of Julie can see them whenever they play, and she like knows that they're ghosts and whatever. I like the best friend. She was a very, very much a Disney Channel best friend. Again, this show is so Disney Channel. Anyways, so the boys' whole dilemma is that they want to play at some theater, and Alex, the gay one, ends up meeting this other boy named Willie. Willie takes them to Cheyenne Jackson. I don't remember his character. I don't remember the character's name. I just remember Cheyenne Jackson played him. Cheyenne Jackson killed it. Cheyenne Jackson always kills it. He is a marvel to society. That gay man, that man is, first of all, that man is really hot. Second of all, he is an amazing actor, singer, dancer. His performance of On the Other Side of Hollywood, best performance in the show. I don't care what no one says. On the Other Side of Hollywood is literally the best song, best performance in the show. Those boys and Julie do not hold a candle to Cheyenne Jackson. They are not as good as him, but he's an adult man and they're teens, so I'm not gonna like harp on them. So yeah, he kills it. He's the villain. He like gives him this like stamp that makes him like slowly die, and so they're like, okay, so he wants them to like work for him. He wanted the boys to work for him and be in his like forever band. What is that? Forever band. And they were like, no, we already have a band. And he was like, okay. So he gives them a stamp. They don't realize what it is, and it starts to slowly kill them. And they're like, oh, we need to pass over right now. So they go and they try and play at the theater. It doesn't work. They think they're gonna die. Julie hugs them, and everything's good. Everything that happens in the middle, you don't need to worry about. There's nothing of substance. You just need to know the beginning, the end, and The Other Side of Hollywood. That's pretty much all that matters. There's just there's a whole part where where they find out that somebody, I don't know his relation to them. I thought it was the other band member who didn't die, but I don't think it is, because he was Asian and then as an adult he's white, and so it doesn't make sense. But anyways, he like stole their music. Well, no, he stole their music, not air quotations. He stole their music and didn't give him credit. And yeah, and they try and haunt him. That's the guy they tried to moon. It didn't matter because he couldn't see them. And so Julie and the best friend have to break into like their enemy's house. She's like this blonde girl. She's like, again, every stereotypical blonde mean girl from Disney. Think of like Sharpay, or that girl from Camp Rock, or just any blonde mean girl you can think of. Even like, you know what, she can even be compared to Brenda Song from, I know Brenda Song is Asian, but Brenda Song from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and you know that show. But yeah, so there's another part I want to talk about before we move on. There's a song called Unsaid Emily, and basically all of the kids have like a problem with their family. All of the boys. The one boy, the main boy, I forgot his name. I only remember Alex's name. Alex was the gay one. Reggie was the dumb one. I don't remember the other one. The main one, the one I don't remember the name of, he basically wrote a poem for his mom, and Julie goes with Alex, like, because Alex is a ghost, and she basically shows him the poem, and he sings it as a ghost, and it's so sad. It was kind of sad. It was, because basically his mom and him had a falling out about him being like a rock star, and the dad was like, oh no, the dad's there but he's not. It was mostly about his mom. He's sad about his mom, and he never got to reconnect with her, and it's pretty sad because he died and never got to say anything to his mom, but then he gets that chance, and it was cute. But Alex doesn't like his parents because they were homophobic, apparently. What it said is that they started to be weird after he came out. I don't know what that means necessarily, but apparently there's some tension. There's some tension. And then Reggie's parents were about to get a divorce, so he doesn't want to be around them. In the next season, I hope we get more time with Alex and Willie and hopefully Alex's life. It was so... Alex being gay was nice, but it felt like they just added it because Netflix loves the gay community, which is fine. They're allowed to do that. I just wish there would have been more gay development. I mean, he was gay in the 80s. The times have changed for gay people. They can get married now. He doesn't have questions about that. He's not like asking about what's it like to be gay in the 2020. He's not asking. I would be asking. I would. If I came from the 80s where like the last thing I remember was that all these gay people were getting AIDS and whatever. I don't know. So anyways, Julie and the Phantoms, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It really wasn't bad. I just think it's very much of a kid's show, which also, you know, there are good kids shows with actual storylines, but this is just, I think it was just a cute kid's show to watch, you know, to show your kids. I would recommend watching it, especially if you have a younger kid. Yeah, 5 out of 10. So, what do I have left to do? Ratchet, The Devil All the Time, and Cuties. So, we're going to do The Devil All the Time. I'm saving Ratchet for second to last because I really like it. But The Devil All the Time, boring. I don't know if y'all are going to hate me for that or say whatever. I just don't, I wasn't that big of a fan for it. For one thing, Robert Pattinson's accent was god-awful. Nah, I wouldn't call it god-awful, but it wasn't great. So apparently he was like, I don't need an accent coach. I'll be fine. I don't need it. He needed it. He needed it. Tom Holland in this was pretty good. I don't think he's Oscar worthy, and I don't think he like killed it or whatever. But I thought he was okay. Yeah, it was like, yeah, it's Tom Holland. I think a lot of people really ate up Tom Holland's part is because he was new, you know, that wasn't anything. He hadn't really done a serious role yet, you know. He was Spider-Man, which was a very funny role. And then he was that guy from Onward, and then he was in like some of the Spy Pigeon movie. I don't remember anything about. I've never watched that one, but yeah. So he mostly did comedy roles, which is fine. I think his popular stuff was comedy. I don't know about anything else prior or after that stuff, but I just know that his big roles were comedy roles. So The Devil All the Time was. Yeah, you know, it was very much a character-driven movie, just like Boys in the Band. The character interactions is what really kind of made the movie. Everyone is evil, and the ones that aren't die. The, like, 3 that aren't evil die. And then everyone else dies too, so... I think a lot of people watched this movie for the same reason I watched it. It had Tom Holland, Bill Skarsgård, Robert Pattinson, and I think there was another big name, Sebastian Stan. So yeah, it was very much I watched it for the actors. It was, you know, plot-wise it was good. I like the story, you know. I think it was very interesting. It was weird that they had flashbacks and voiceover narration, because I was like, narration and voiceover? Why? Narration, voiceover, and flashbacks. And they do flashbacks a lot. But yeah, I just think that it was a pretty okay movie. There wasn't much to talk about, you know. I had to restart it 3 times because I found myself not paying attention every time. And I was like, oh, I missed something. And I feel bad. I just think it wasn't a bad movie. It really wasn't. It just wasn't that good. You know, it just wasn't anything special. I think Tom Holland did all right. I think it was, you know, I think he was the main character there are a lot of characters that play a sort of big role, but I mean, he was the only one that was in for most of the movie, and he's the only one that survived. He killed like almost everyone, pretty much everyone. But yeah, so he basically the whole movie is just Tom Holland's character. His dad was at war. His dad had to kill some soldier because he got like hung to a cross. That part was weird. I didn't understand what was going on there. He was in Vietnam, or maybe actually it might have not been Vietnam, but I think it was Vietnam. Anyway, so the dad comes back. He gets married. They have Tom Holland. The mom gets cancer. Yeah, she gets cancer. And the dad is like forcing him to pray. He kills the dog as like a sacrifice to God. It lost me. I'm gonna be honest. I got lost there. I was like, what are you, Abraham? Okay. So yeah, and then is it Abraham? I'm not big on the Christian Bible, so I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But so I'm trying to think of what he did. Oh, he basically makes Tom Holland pray. Doesn't work. The mother dies because that's not how it works. This movie also took place in the past. I'm pretty sure each one of these movies or shows took place not in the modern day except for Julie and Cuties, which is weird. I think that's weird. Is it weird? No. I think taking place in 2020 is just not good because it's either pandemic or you gotta lie. It's either you do a pandemic story or you lie. There's no in between. It's not fun. So, what was I talking about? So yeah, basically Tom Holland is like, he calls the cops. They think he had pie all over him. They thought it was blood, but it wasn't. And so this is where we meet the sheriff, the cop, and he's like trying to win an election or something. And Tom Holland's very young, and he goes to live with his grandmother and also his stepsister. I think it was a stepsister. They were either I don't think they were blood related, but he loved her like a sister, so they were like basically brother sister. And then we time jump. Or no. So basically the stepsister has to live with the grandparents as well because the father was a preacher and he kills his wife and tries to bring her back to life through God. These people are crazy. So this is no joke. So he tries to bring her back to life, and it doesn't work, surprisingly. And so he gets like, he runs away because he doesn't want to be caught by the cops, and leaving the daughter to live with the grandmother. And then on the way, he gets picked up by these murderer hitchhiker people, and he was like their first kill. They come back later, and so they kill him. Basically, what they like to do is they like to pick up men and force the man to have sex with the wife, and then they kill him after taking some photos and stuff. I know this was like in the early, like, I don't know, I'm gonna say 50s? I don't think that's right. I don't know. Sometime early, not that way long ago, but like a while ago. But I'm like, you're going to incriminate yourself. If people find that, you're going to get in trouble. Obviously, there's no like DNA stuff, so they couldn't really test if it was like the DNA of people. But yeah, I think what you got to anyway. So back to Tom Holland. We time jump and we find out his stepsister's like ugly, and she gets bullied for being ugly. And he like ends up like beating the shit out of the three boys that bully her. But Robert Pattinson comes in at this time. He's like a preacher. Also, the dad is played by Bill Skarsgård. I don't think I mentioned that, but Robert Pattinson plays this preacher who like preys on young girls by using religion. Sounds like a Catholic priest, so I'm not surprised. But basically he has sex with Tom Holland's sister, the stepsister, and gets her pregnant, and then he's like convincing her to like kill the baby or kill herself, and she goes to kill herself, and then she's like, you know what, no, that's not right. My grandma would still love me, my family would still support me, and then she accidentally hangs herself because she's trying to get down and she messes up. So yeah, Tom Holland goes ballistic. He kills Robert Pattinson. Well, no, he like spies on him and finds out that he's like cheating on so many people, and he has a wife and this, that, and the other, and so he kills him, which he should have done. Yeah, I definitely agree with him doing that. Tom Holland also, his character isn't religious because of what happened to his mom and his dog, so. Oh yeah, his main motivation also for the movie is kind of that his dog got killed by his father and never got a proper burial. In the beginning, he like asked the sheriff, "Are you gonna bury the dog?" And the dog was already decomposing, and he was like, "No one's touching that thing." So later in the movie, after killing the priest, he runs away. He gets involved with the murderer couple. Also, I know I haven't talked about the murderer couple or Sebastian Stan's character a lot. Sebastian Stan is the cop. Because there's not much to talk about. I honestly wasn't paying attention during those parts. I don't think there's a whole lot there. I'm sure there is, but for me, I just didn't care. So, he ends up getting a ride from the murderer couple. He shoots the husband when he sees that he has a gun, because I guess he's paranoid. And then the murderer husband was also suspicious of his wife, so he fills his wife's gun with blanks. And so when she tries to shoot Tom Holland, there's no bullet, so he kills her. It was a whole weird triangle of trying to kill each other. Because she was, we find out from the voiceover that she was gonna try and shoot her husband and take Tom Holland and just run away with them. And I was like, why? That's weird. What if he's like not okay with that? Anyways, so yeah, that's basically. Oh, and then at the end, also the murderer couple's the wife is the brother of the sheriff. I forgot to mention that. That's actually kind of important because the sheriff goes after him because he remembers. He's like, oh my God, I know Tom Holland. I saved him as a kid or whatever. I sent him to live with his grandparents. I know his story, blah, blah, blah. So he goes to try and kill him because he finds out he killed his sister. So he goes to kill him. And Tom Holland goes to go find the bones of his dog to bury it. It's really convoluted, but it's not when you watch it. It sounds confusing, but I swear it's not. The movies, it just sounds confusing until you see it. Anyways. So, yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. It really wasn't bad. I just don't think it's that interesting, and I don't think I would watch it again. If you want to watch it, go ahead. I really literally only watched it to see those actors, and I mean, I guess I wasn't disappointed because they were in there. But I wasn't expecting much plot-wise or whatever. You know, I don't know. So, next we're going to talk about Ratched. I loved this show. I don't want to give too much off because I think everyone should go watch it. If you haven't watched it, watch it. What else do you have to do? Vote? I mean, you guys are like under 18. Also, if you are over 18 or 18, go vote. It's important. I'm sure most of you already voted by now, but like, go vote if you haven't. And then, yeah, and then watch Ratched. So basically, if you don't know what Ratched is, it's the origin story of the villain Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which I didn't watch before I watched the show. I watched the movie after I watched the show. You can watch it whichever order, it doesn't matter. I don't think it really matters. It didn't for me. Well, actually, it was more confusing when I watched the show and then I watched the movie. And I feel like it would have been less confusing if I want to watch the movie. I don't know. Basically, in the movie, she's like a really evil woman, but in the show, she's like nice. And she is nice in the show. I mean, she's mean to the people that are bad to her and bad people, but she's not mean to like the majority of people. She doesn't, you know, she's actually like, doesn't believe in like the hurtful therapies. And she's nice to Huck, who is my favorite character. We'll get into Huck. I love Huck. He's played by Charlie Carver. Yeah. So, basically the whole premise is just, it's the origin story of Nurse Ratched. Her brother Edmund Tullison was a murderer, and he killed like 4 or 5 priests because they like, well, one of them raped his mother and she ended up killing herself. She was a nun, and they call her a whore. She killed herself. She got on drugs, whatever. And so he kills him as revenge, and all of the priests are with him except for one, and he ends up like telling. So he goes to jail. He goes to the mental institution because I think he's mentally ill. He's not. And then Nurse Ratched finds out, and she goes to the institution to work there. And she's never been a nurse except for in the army, but she faked that application. She wanted to help people, and so she goes to help people, but she ends up killing them, asphyxiating the ones that couldn't live, or the ones that were in a lot of pain. I don't know if it was right or it was wrong. I'm not here to say whether it was right or wrong, but she ends up killing a bunch of people in the army. She gets let off. Then she fakes her application to work at the current hospital. And she gets in beefs with the nurses. She gets in beefs with the doctor, with everyone. Everyone except for Huck, who I love. So let me talk about Huck real quick, because I've been wanting to talk about him. Basically, he is the nicest person ever. This takes place in the 1940s, I think. And he is like not homophobic, which didn't happen. Basically, his whole thing was that he was in the Marines. He got burnt badly. No one will give him a job, so he worked as a nurse. He works as a nurse now, and he doesn't believe in hydrotherapy. He was like, "Oh my God, that was awful. You saw what they did to that woman. They almost killed her. Her skin was like all gross." And so he shuts off the hydrotherapy machine, and I really like that because like they were trying to burn these lesbians. And he helps free them, and he's just a nice person, and he's like, "Oh, you know, I've never really had a girl dance with me after what happened, or this," and he asks Nurse Bucket, or not Bucket, Bucket's the other one, Nurse Ratched to dance with him, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm a lesbian, sorry," and he was like so supportive, and I was like, Huck. And his ending, oh my God, he got shot. I'm gonna tell you why and how and what happened, and it was so sad. I was like, y'all, the nicest character got killed. The best character in the show, in my opinion, got killed. So anyways, one of the patients that gets admitted was she had multiple personality disorder. So she thinks she's like these 4 different people, and 3 different people in her normal personality, and then she also gets another personality whenever someone else dies. I won't say who, but she ends up being let out, and she does get healed and let out. But what happens is that the main doctor, John Briones, I don't remember his character name, but yeah, so he's involved with this like illegal, I think it was illegal, I don't know. Anyways, so the mother of this kid, Brandon Flynn's in it. Basically, she wanted mental help for her son, and so she hires the doctor, and the doctor ends up accidentally getting high off of his medication and cutting off his arms and legs, and he leaves him as a stump. And he doesn't cut off his arms and legs, but, well, actually that's not true, he does. No, he doesn't. Does he? Yeah, he does. He cut off his arms and legs. Yeah, it didn't work out. And so now the mother wants to kill him, and she sends a hitman after him and tries to get Nurse Ratched to kill him, but Nurse Ratched does the opposite. He does end up dying by the multiple personality disorder patient, and she takes his personality. That's the other personality she gets. And it was just, and then the MPD patient ends up running away, coming back, killing Huck, freeing Edmund Tullison, and then the end of the series ends with her, Edmund Tullison, and another character who's like, I didn't expect her to be part of the group, but I guess she is, going after Nurse Ratched. Nurse Ratched ends up with the other lesbian character. They're a couple, they're cute, you know, it's whatever. And then her and Nurse Bucket end up becoming friends, and I did not expect that because they were like clashing. You see, clashing. Have you seen the trailer where she's like, where the nurse is eating the peach? That's Nurse Bucket. I didn't expect them to become friends. They did not like each other. They both hated each other, and they ended up becoming friends and working together, and it was like, it was a cute friendship. But yeah, honestly, oh, and then there's another nurse. She ends up like freeing Edmund Tullison for a little bit, but they end up getting caught by the police. She dies because she's insane. Edmund Tullison also isn't insane. I don't understand why he wanted to. He only ends up killing like a few people. He ends up killing his two foster parents, him and Ratchet's foster parents, because they were pedophiles, and they were preying on him and Ratchet. We get to see like the childhood of Nurse Ratched, and I was like, but he ends up killing them, and then they get separated. He goes to a juvie. It turns out though that what he did wasn't illegal, because I mean it was like trying to save his life, and it was. So yeah, and then he ends up killing the priest that raped his mother. Oh no, I guess it wasn't rape, but having sex with his mother and then tossing her aside. And he's like against killing animals, because there's a whole part where he's like, he won't kill the chicken, but he ends up also killing a guard to escape, Harold, who was a nice guy. I liked Harold. And that's pretty much all he kills. Maybe he kills more after that. He kills a few other guards when he escapes with the MPD patient. But yeah, I don't think Edmund Tullison was like a psycho. I just think he killed people because they did bad things. He's like the Batman. He goes after bad people. He kills bad people. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. Not for me to say. So, let's talk about cuties, because I gotta start I didn't give my rating. Rating of Ratchet, I would give it a 9 out of 10. It deserves that 9 out of 10. It was good. I'm ready for season 2. Apparently by season 4, they're gonna be caught up with they're going to be caught up to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So I'm wondering, will season 4 be One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but only through Nurse Ratchet's perspective and maybe a few of the other characters, and they add more stuff and whatever? Or will it be like the end of season 4 is going to be right at the beginning of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? And then if they do a season 5, is it going to be One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in a different perspective, or is it going to be like what happened after One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Because that would be interesting. Maybe. I think it could be interesting. I mean, the end of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest leaves a few questions, and I kind of want to see how they would do it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the next seasons. But anyways, let's move on to cuties. Will I ever know peace? Will I ever know peace? Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna check the time to make sure I'm late to class. Okay, I got like 30 minutes to film this, so I'm gonna try and make it quick. I don't think this cutie segment is gonna be 30 minutes. I'm gonna link down a video from this YouTuber I watched named T Noir. Her video was very informative and helped me formulate my own opinions. I would go watch that for a better understanding, because what she said is kind of like how I saw it. So, Cuties is a movie that needed to be made, but shouldn't have been made that way. Cuties is very problematic in the fact that there's a lot. There's just a lot. The dancing is the least of your concern. If you ever watch the movie, the dancing is probably the least concerning part of the movie, which is so odd. Oh, everyone was so worried about the dancing being provocative. There's much worse things than the dancing in the movie. And we're going to get into those. But basically, the sexualization of minors needed to be talked about, especially through dancing and stuff, because it is a thing that happens and it is important and it is not good. It's just the way they did it was wrong. Period, obviously. So, I'm trying to think of where I should start. I guess let's start from the beginning. So basically, it starts with Ami, the main character. She lives in a family. She just has her mother, her father, and 2 younger boys. We never get to see the father, but we find out in the movie that the father they're Muslim, is accepting a second wife into the household. The mother doesn't want a second wife because, you know, who wants a second wife to compete with? So, yeah, the mother's kind of like, oh, I don't want this, but she's willing to put up with it until at the end of the movie when she doesn't, and I'm glad. Well, I think she does put up with it. She puts up with it. At the end of the movie. She's kind of like, oh, whatever. Icon. I like the mother. I like the mother. I really did like the mother. She's probably the best character in this movie. But anyways, Ami is like 11, and you know, this movie needed to be done with 11 to 12-year-olds because I think if it's done with 16, 17, 15-year-olds, it's not going to be the same, because media all the time, and Netflix plays into this because this is another Netflix selling sex, is that they have 15 to 17-year-olds acting provocative, acting all, you know, whatever, and people are just okay with it. So it needed to be this young age for that outrage. This movie plays a lot into adultification. If you don't know what adultification is, it's basically when, usually black girls, but it can happen to young girl, to any race too, when they get shown as more adult, when they get seen as adults and not kids. Adultification is very dangerous, and there's 2 types. There's like, she plays into both types. There's like the dressing up like an older girl and dancing like an older girl, and then there's working as if you're like a second mother, and that's what she does. She does both of those. She dances like she's older, and she takes care of her brothers like she's in charge, because the mother is so stressed with accepting a new wife that she has like no time to do anything, and it's so, the aunt's there to help, but she's stressed. So Ami does a lot of work. Anyways, so I'm going to talk about some of the parts that personally outraged me. The first part that really got me was the part when they like force her to go take a video of the like young boy who's peeing at the urinal. That was weird. That was, why did that needed to be in? That part could have not been in the movie. The girls are 11, they're talking about penises and dicks and whatever, and liking boys, and you know, that's normal. At that age, girls are going to talk about boys, and they're going to start feeling curious about sex. Not all girls, some of them, not all girls. But for them to force her to go take a video of him peeing, that didn't need to be in. That was very unnecessary. I don't think that needed to be in the movie. Tell me I'm wrong, I don't care. My opinion, that didn't need to be in the movie. What was the reason? My throat is getting dry. So, you test my patience every day, little boy. So, basically, yeah, I talked about the recording the guy peeing. And then another part is that they kick out this girl named Yasmin, and because they get in a fight, because, oh, they're, I completely forgot about this part too. But they were like doing like Omegle, you know Omegle, it's kind of like that, with a boy from their school, and they had the camera off, and they were like, "Show me your face. How old are you?" Blah blah blah. And they turned the and then Yasmin turns the camera on, and he's like, "Ew, what are you guys, 11?" And then he like reasonably gets off because they are 11, and he's like, and they were like, "Yasmin, why did you do that?" First of all, why are you on those sites in the first place? Second of all, Yasmin, why did you do that? So they end up kicking her out and they get in a fight, and so they replace her with Ami, and that's how Ami gets into the group. Remember Yasmin. So that part I was like, wow. I was like, they're trying to show their boobies to nothing. They were flat. They were trying to show their nothing to... They're 11. They're reasonably flat. I mean, you haven't gone through puberty yet. So, and they're talking about this, and... So they put Ami in the group, and they like, I think Yasmin makes fun of her body a few times. I don't remember if that necessarily happened, but I'm pretty sure it does. And yeah, so later they're all hanging out together without Yasmin, and they find a used condom. Oh, I don't know if it was used, but they find a condom, and the one girl picks it up, and they're like, "Oh my God, you have AIDS now. You're gonna get AIDS." And so they make her, this is, if she did get AIDS, which she didn't, because all she did was pick up the condom. She didn't insert semen into her body or whatever. All she did was pick it up. They make her wash out her mouth. They make her wash her whole like hands and body and everything to make sure she doesn't have AIDS. That is not going to cure AIDS. And that's kind of telling on me, because that shows that people don't really know about sex. They're 11, of course, but that it needs to be taught better. If that's what these girls think as how you get AIDS, it needs to be taught better. It needs to be talked about, because that's dangerous. But, I think this movie would have been a good coming-of-age movie. Ami gets her period, and she starts to, like, get a little bustier, as 11-year-old girls do. They grow up, they go through puberty. And I think that would have been a good message to talk about, especially in a conservative, because she has a conservative family, and, through the lens of an 11-year-old girl. I think that would have been an important thing to talk about, but it's just the way they do it and everything else. But let me talk about the next part that gets me. I think I'm going to talk about two more parts, but like this one was the worst. Basically, the girls break into I don't know when they have time to do all this. The girls break into a laser fight thing. Those like laser guns, the laser tag. And they get caught, and the guy brings out the manager, and the manager, they start like dancing for him and like showing the dance moves that they learned from Ami, because Ami, in an earlier scene, Ami finds like a bunch of sexual dance moves and teach them to the girls, and they're doing all these provocative dance moves. But anyways, they start doing it for the manager, and he looks like he's into it. 11-year-old girls. I'm going insane. Oh my God, this movie, I lost years of my life watching the Cuties movie. I lost years of my life watching the Cuties movie. Oh, it was so awful. And arguably, that's not even the worst part. There's worse. So, in a later scene that happened, Ami steals her cousin's phone, and then further in the movie, she gets caught. And then when she gets caught, her first instinct is to strip for him, her cousin, adult cousin. I'm gonna say he's like 19, 20. Luckily, he's like, "What are you doing? What is wrong with you?" And then he like hits her. Or no, I don't think he hits her. But he's like, "What is wrong with you?" And she's like, "This ain't working." So she runs to the bathroom, locks the door, takes a picture of her vagina, posts it to the internet. And to add insult to injury, when she goes to school the next day, a boy slaps her ass, and then she retaliates by stabbing a pencil through his hand. I swear to God, I can't make that up. It happened. And then she gets kicked out of the group for posting that because they don't want a bad image. You guys are dancing like you're strippers, and you don't want someone posting their vagina to the internet? Yeah, no. What you... Oh, that's the line? That's the line y'all draw? Okay. So, because she gets kicked out, they go to the championship without her. Or not the championship, but they go to like this dance competition without her, and they invite Yasmin back in. And on the way there, she runs away from her father's wedding, as she should. I mean, I wouldn't want to go. And she drowns Yasmin. She pushes her into a lake, sits there to make sure she doesn't drown, and then runs away when she finds out she's fine. And then she goes to the championship. I'm tired just trying to recite what happens. And then they dance. She gets frozen. She's like, wait a minute. I don't want to do this. And she runs back home, takes off the clothing, takes off the makeup, goes into her everyday normal clothing. She gets in trouble by her aunt. She's like, what are you doing? Why are you not dressed for the wedding? And then the mom stands in the way. The mom beats her earlier for that whole pencil stunt. As she should. I mean... the mother stands in the way of the aunt. She's like, let her go. This is, you know what, let her go. Let her be free. If she doesn't want to do this, she's an actress. So she doesn't. So she goes and plays with some kids around her age, the little girls, they jump rope, and it was cute, and it was a good ending. The movie, I'm going to say one good thing about Cuties. The direction and the girls acting and the cinematography was good. That movie would have been such a good movie if it weren't for the unnecessary stuff. Girls like that go through phases like that. So I'm not even mad about the dancing and the clothes they wear, because girls at that age do go through things like that, and they actually do things like that. My problem is the extra. Did we need the manager scene? Did we need her to post the vagina? Did we need her to stab herself with a pencil? Stab the boy with a pencil? Did we need the part where she records a boy in the bathroom? Did we need all that? No! We didn't need that, because that part doesn't make sense. The AIDS part makes sense with the condom, because it shows we need better learning for those girls. I don't know about French schooling, but... Anyways, so there was just so much that we didn't need that the movie, the message and the movie got lost in the mess. The mess. Because that's what it was. This movie was a mess. Very messy. Problematic and messy. You sound like Trisha Paytas. You sound like Trisha Paytas. Yeah. I mean, I pretty much said my piece. I'm going to link T Noir's video. I would recommend watching it because it talks more in depth and kind of clears up some of the things I said a little more. Yeah, Cuties was a very messy, problematic movie. I can't believe I spent all of my lunch break talking about this. I don't want to go to 7th period. Anyways, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Oh, let me give Cuties a rating. 2 out of 10. I'm not giving it a 0 because, again, it had a good message and the cinematography direction and the acting was good. I hope those girls are in another movie, a much better movie. I hope that this doesn't end their career for them because they were great actresses, especially the main girl, Ami. So, yeah, that's the end of this video. If you want to check any of them out, I would recommend, here's like my way of which you should do it. You know, I'm going to put, you can look at it right there. So, yeah, watch some of them if you want. I wouldn't recommend watching Cuties. The rest of them, go have fun. If you want to watch that Devil All the Time movie, go off. If you want to watch Ratchet, go off. You should watch Boys in the Band. It's really good. If you have nothing better to do, watch it. You should watch Ratchet. You don't have to, but you should. So, if you want to see another video like this where I talk about the Netflix releases of the month, let me know. Leave a like, leave a comment. Share this video. Please. Subscribe. Please. I want to make money. YouTube isn't going to be my full-time thing. I'm going to be an actor, a writer, director. But I'm doing this right now, so help me out. Anyways, yeah, my next video will be the Disney video because I'm going to continue working on it. I just haven't had a whole lot of motivation. And then with the hurricane, I was like... Anyways, I was going to talk about Enola Holmes, and if you want to see a video on that, let me know as well. I just haven't seen it yet. I didn't really care to watch it. I'm not a huge, whatever her name is, Millie Bobby Brown. I liked her in Stranger Things, and that's like it. But, yeah, so I hope you like this video. Check these out. Stay tuned for my next video. Watch some of my old videos. My last video, the poetic documentary, only got like 8 views, I think. Maybe it's 13 now, but I think it was 8 last time I remember it was 8. But yeah, go check out my old videos, have fun, do you, get to school, get some work done. I should have been doing homework, but I'm not. So, bye, I'll see you all later, love you.